There is a moment, quiet at first, when creation begins to move faster than the person creating it. When the work sharpens, accelerates, coheres, while the body producing it fades into the background. Hunger becomes irrelevant, sleep becomes optional, emotion becomes noise. The art keeps moving, and the organism struggles to keep up. This is not inspiration, it is velocity. This essay is about that moment. It's also about the David Bowie album Station to Station, an album that does not simply document artistic transformation, but records, almost audibly, the instant when art outruns the body that sustains it. It's also about his album Low, the record that follows, not as an evolution forward, but as a reckoning, a slowing, a return. Between these two albums is not just a stylistic shift, it is a philosophical arc, from transcendence to repair, from ascetic will to embodied survival. The title track, Station to Station, does not begin with melody or harmony or even a voice. It begins with movement. A train, a mechanical rhythm, forward motion without context. This matters because the album's opening gesture mirrors its condition, already in transit, already accelerating, with no clear sense of where it started or where it's going. When Bowie sings The Return of the Thin White Duke, throwing darts in lovers' eyes, the line lands without emotional emphasis. It is declarative, cold, almost indifferent. It's not a confession, it's a report. Critics often describe this album as icy or European or disciplined, but discipline is not the same as health. The music is controlled, but it is not grounded. There's clarity without warmth, precision without rest. This is the sound of an intellect operating independently of the body that houses it. Thin White Duke is often misunderstood as theatrical provocation. In reality, he is stripped of play. There's no glitter here, no experimentation, no irony, nothing of Ziggy Stardust remains. The Duke is austere, emaciated, and rigid. This persona aligns uncannily with what Nietzsche describes in On the Genealogy of Morals as the ascetic ideal, the belief that purity, discipline, and transcendence are achieved through denial of the body. Nietzsche does not praise this, he diagnoses it. He argues that the ascetic ideal often masquerades as strength while actually being a form of self-directed violence. Will turns against the flesh. Control replaces vitality. The self becomes an object to be dominated. The Thin White Duke is not self-overcoming. He is self-abstraction. When Bowie later reflected on this period, he did so with seemingly unease. He described the Duke as emotionally vacant, spiritually dangerous, and inseparable from extreme physical deterioration. The persona is not ideology, it's a symptom. Consider the lyric. It's not the side effects of the cocaine. I'm thinking that it must be love. This line is often quoted for its irony, but what matters more is its dislocation. Feeling is no longer trustworthy. Love is indistinguishable from chemical effect. Perception is divorced from embodiment. Throughout Station to Station, emotion is filtered through abstractions. Love becomes geometry, desire becomes emotion, and faith becomes fixation. Even the references to Kabbalah and mysticism are flattened, not devotional, but schematic. Symbols are consumed, not inhabited. This is spirituality without grounding, and transcendence without integration. Nietzsche warned precisely against this. Metaphysics divorced from life becomes destructive. Will without rhythm becomes exhaustion. One of the most unsettling and unnerving facts about Station to Station is that in interviews, Bowie later admitted he remembered almost nothing from the process of creating it. This detail is often romanticized. It should not be. Dissociation is not transcendence. It is a survival response, in this case of a man surviving off of milk, peppers, and copious amounts of cocaine. The psyche disconnects when integration becomes impossible. The album's lucidity exists despite the self, not because of it. This is what it means for art to outrun the body. The work continues to function while the body behind it fragments. The music knows before the person does. It's tempting to read this album as proof of the tortured artist myth that suffering produces greatness. This is a mistake. Suffering did not generate Station to Station. Velocity did. The suffering is instead collateral damage. Bowie did not need deprivation to make great art. What he lacked was not discipline, but grounding. Discipline without care becomes annihilation. This album is great not because it's destructive, but because it captures the exact moment before destruction becomes inevitable. And then comes Low. Not as triumph, not as synthesis, but as an interruption. Where Station to Station extends endlessly, Low collapses inward. The songs are short, fragmented, and often unfinished. Side B barely speaks at all. This is not experimentation for its own sake. It is a convalescence. The body has re-entered the conversation. Consider sound and vision. The song is bright, almost cheerful, but the lyrics are not. Blue, blue, electric blue, that's the color of my room, where I will live. This is not ecstasy, it is enclosure. The body has stopped moving. The mind has slowed. The song accepts limitation rather than fleeing it. Always crashing in the same car is not metaphorical excess. It is repetition, exhaustion, a recognition of cyclical failure. Unlike Station to Station, the album Low does not seek transcendence. It accepts constraint. And in doing so, it survives. Nietzsche's later philosophy emphasizes rhythm, recuperation, and affirmation of finitude. Strength is not endless extension. It is the ability to return. Low embodies this wisdom. Where the aesthetic ideal denies the body, Low listens to it. Silence becomes meaningful. Rest becomes creative. Fragmentation becomes honest. This is not retreat. Instead, it's repair. We live in a culture that rewards overextension. We praise working through hunger. We romanticize burnout. We confuse velocity with vision. Station to Station feels contemporary because many of us are living by its logic. Low offers the counter-logic, survival as creative necessity, not slowing down to stop, but slowing down to be able to continue. There's a reason this arc feels so personal to so many of us. Most ambitious people eventually encounter this exact moment. When the work is going well, maybe even brilliantly, but the body is falling quietly into the background. Sleep erodes, appetite disappears, Emotion flattens. You keep producing, and you tell yourself that you're fine until you're not. What Bowie gives us across these two albums is not a moral lesson, but a map. Station to Station shows what happens when you stop listening to the body. Low shows what it takes to return to it. Sadly, not everyone makes it back. Art can go very far without us, but if it goes too far, it will leave us behind. And the courage to slow down, to let the body re-enter the work, is its own form of strength and courage. Station to Station is not a warning, it's a record. Low is not a compromise, but instead it's a homecoming. Together they form one of the clearest artistic arcs of the modern period, from ascetic velocity to embodied survival. Art can outrun the body, but it cannot outlive it. And learning when to return may be the most difficult art of them all.